Masks have become mandatory in Vegas in one particular situation. One of the major dining venues at one of the major resorts that's very, very popular closes down because somebody tested positive for C19 virus. We have some poker rooms opening up, a major hotel opening up much earlier than expected, and we have fireworks downtown from one particular hotel, as well as the lowest unemployment rate we've had in 60 days in Nevada, and it beat the national average by a whole lot. My name is Steven, and I am not leaving Las Vegas. Do me a favor, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up button, click subscribe, like, share, subscribe, hit the comments and tell us what you think. Is it already happening? Is the cracks in the crevice showing up? Are we in big trouble here in Las Vegas in a closure of a restaurant because of C19 on the Strip? That sounds like big news to me. And comment about the masks, and we'll talk about masks in a minute. If you guys want to support the channel, head on over to Patreon. You guys can get videos that I post up early over there. You guys can also get different photos that I post up and videos that I don't post anywhere else. You guys can also head over to vegasfacemask.com. Get the only 2 face masks you will ever need. We have some cool 4th of July stuff I wore on the live stream last night. Think you're going to like it a whole lot. And if you guys want to head on over to Teespring, we have merchandise there. Also, use the links below. You guys can shop on Amazon, help the channel, or you guys can book a room or an entire vacation with even airlines, I think, on vegas.com. But we have to get to the actual news today. No more time for that commercialism stuff. Ain't nobody like no commercialism, but you pay $12 to watch a movie and then have 12 minutes of forced ads before the movie. Go figure. All right, haters gonna hate. I'm just being a joker. All right, so we obviously have masks becoming mandatory in a sense in Las Vegas, but before we get to that, I'm going to talk about the poker rooms that are opening up in Las Vegas. So Caesars Palace has announced that their poker room will be opening June 18th at 10 a.m. All the players at the tables will be forced to wear masks, maximum of 5 players at the tables, and that's a poker room thing. So people have been saying that the 3-handed poker, I guess that's 3 people. I'm not a poker player, so you tell me what 5-handed poker means. I don't imagine it means that you have 5 hands and you play poker. What kind of monster are you? That was the joke. I don't imagine that 5-handed poker is a problem for people. People said that was the minimum. So Caesars is opening. We also have the Sahara opening their poker room on, well, today. Sahara's poker room opens today. So if you're a poker fan, you like to play at the Sahara, I don't have details on how many players are allowed to play at a single time, but you know, Sahara also didn't read in the article that I read if they're going to be requiring masks. We'll get to that in just a second about one of these Vegas things that requires masks all of a sudden. Hey, I thought we had no masks. Why did this happen? We'll get to that in just a moment. We also have, as I mentioned, a major dining venue on Las Vegas Strip being closed now due to C19 virus. So the Mayfair Supper Club over at the Bellagio, it faces towards the Bellagio fountains. We've seen it on my live streams when I do the Bellagio fountain show on the live streams, and that's closed. One of the kitchen employees actually tested positive. Now, they're not in freak out mode. They're not closing down the entire Bellagio. Do you think they should close down the entire Bellagio because of this? Leave us a comment and tell us below. No, they've closed down the Mayfair. They said it's closed until further notice. They're going to do a deep cleaning of the entire establishment. Now, the Mayfair Supper Club is one of the newest kind of dining ventures in Las Vegas. It is an experience. You know, it's like we have these dinner clubs, we have these we have pool clubs, we have beach clubs, now we have supper clubs. I hope that the employee that did get sick is going to be good and make a full recovery, but I don't know. I mean, this is a person that would have never interacted directly with the public here in Las Vegas, and for the longest time now, for the last few weeks, the big concern has been people coming in with C19, spreading it around the people of Las Vegas and other tourists, and then they leave and go back home, and then boom, we're the epicenter of whatever. I don't blame Mayfair for this, or honestly, to be honest, it doesn't make any sense because this person didn't interact with the actual guests out front. So it just goes to show that this could have gone from anywhere. We can't really contact trace this to death. It's not going to show us where it actually came from. But we hope that everybody else at the Mayfair is fine, that they've all been tested, and that everybody is going to help to get that individual better. That's pain. But a good thing that's happening is that we do have the Plaza downtown shooting off fireworks on July 4th. July 4th, they'll have fireworks. They're going to close off the Main Street station and Main Street for extra access so you guys can see those fireworks. They're actually going to be the only resort downtown, at least so far, doing fireworks. We'll see if other properties follow suit. Well, I don't have information on whether or not the Strip is going to be doing fireworks, but it seems like an activity that everybody could get behind. You know, they shoot off the fireworks, everybody's outside we've got a break from the casinos for a little while, or maybe the casinos don't want that. Who knows? Maybe they think that this will be a hook for the plaza. They'll bring people downtown. They are doing it by themselves. Most of the stuff that happens downtown on Fremont Street is usually a consortium of different properties that get together and do stuff all at the same time and pitch in with their budgets. But I don't know about the main strip right now. We're going to have to find out. And as it stands for New Year's, there are no plans for New Year's as of yet. Of course, we have one of the biggest New Year's celebrations in the entire world here in Las Vegas. We'll see if those things go forward. It'll be tough to say. In other news, we do have the unemployment rate in Nevada dropping. It's actually dropped considerably. We went from almost a 30% unemployment rate in April to dropping down to 25% in May. And we also gained 3% of our jobs back, which is actually faster than the entire country. In May, the entire nation gained 1.9% of their jobs back. We gained 3% of our jobs back. Now, I've said this before on the channel, if you've been watching for a while. I said that Las Vegas, the success here is going to completely rely on whether or not people from other parts of the country can come to Las Vegas. If the economies in places where we've always had strong visitorship from is good, we meet a lot of people here from places like Ohio, Texas. We meet people from New York. If the economy in those states pick up, they're going to want to go somewhere. They're going to travel. They're going to wear their face mask. They're going to get on the planes. They're going to fly to Las Vegas. And so at that point, we just have to take a look and see whether or not those people keep coming back. Now, it is important to point out most of these casinos aren't even at full capacity. They're at like a 20% capacity for guests. We also have the fact that most of the employees have not come back to the resorts yet. But just having the little bits that have come back, the importance to the economy is absolutely apparent and evident. And as a nation, economists in some cases, and I'm sure you'll find ones that disagree with what the economists that I'm listening to are going to say, but I prefer to look on the positive side of things. Some of them are thinking that we will be back to where we were before all this, as in like January, by the end of the year. So we could be out and about and having a great economy by December. Maybe we'll get back to that historic low unemployment rate. That would be a great thing. I would love to see that. Now, we also have a major hotel opening downtown early. If you guys have been paying attention to the channel, or maybe it's your first time here, you'll know that Circa by Derek Stevens is going to open at some point in 2021. Well, a couple of days ago, they teased that they would have a big announcement yesterday. The big announcement yesterday is that the Circa will be opening October 28th, just in time for Halloween. This is Halloween. This is, oh, I'm sorry, I'm singing from The Nightmare Before Christmas. So it's very, very smart what Derek Stevens' group has done. Instead of them trying to finish off the entire property and knowing full well that they also own the Golden Gate and the D and different various properties, they've decided to, during the construction, to reallocate their resources into building out the first 5 floors. The first 5 floors of Circa are very important. They have a state-of-the-art parking structure, although what that actually entails, I have no idea. It's called Garage Mahal. When I saw that, I thought, okay, I guess that name will stick around if that's what you chose, but apparently it's state-of-the-art. They also have a giant, huge race and sports book in there, state-of-the-art. Everything is state-of-the-art because that's a marketing term, but they have, you know, different things like casino floors. They have a giant area where people can watch hockey games and sporting events. I think they're doing this. It's a smart move. Their hotel is not going to be finished until June 24th, if that, so we'll see how fast that goes. Maybe they can fast-track that as well, but it's smart because they can always put people in different properties. The Golden Gate's right across the street from them. The D is just down the street as well. And you could always just book for the Circa and stay at those 2 properties. So I've got to give credit where it's due to Derek Stevens for pushing through. And I don't know if there were any C-19 cases on the construction of that property, but it looks like it's going to be a good thing. We were down there last night. They took off a bunch of the wood paneling. You could see where the resort itself seamlessly integrates with the Fremont Street canopy. It was nice to see. But lastly, we have what you probably came here for. It's masks at all of the tables games. So late last night, they had an emergency thing where they said, wait a minute, the Nevada Gaming Control Board said, wait a minute, this is ridiculous. We're going to require masks for all the table games unless and except, we have some exceptions. So unless there's plexiglass at the table game, a plexiglass separation that separates the player from the dealer. The dealers all have to wear masks. That's just the rules of the state. And so the dealers are going to be covered, but now the people have to be wearing face coverings while they're playing the games. Doesn't matter how many people are on the table. Doesn't matter if you're watching the game. If you're within 6 feet of that dealer, you have to actually, if you're a spectator even, be wearing a cloth face covering. So why did this all happen? That's what we have to explore. And so it boils down to wait and see and watch and see. Now, they basically gave people enough rope, and we all hung ourselves with it. And if you've been watching the channel, you've seen what I'm talking about. There's been a lot of people commenting on the lack of face masks and everything like that. Last night, after I myself had a bit of a scare where I had a bad cough after I had acid reflux, I woke up the next day thinking, oh my gosh, my chest hurts. I spent all day in a gray, dark cloud until I bought a thermometer and felt better the next day. But, you know, they waited and saw. And what they saw was that nobody was wearing any face coverings in Las Vegas, especially when they're just a few feet away from the dealer. Now, the cloth face covering mask thing comes from the CDC, and it comes from the WHO. And what they're telling people is like, look, if you're going to be more than 30 minutes face-to-face with an individual, it's a good idea to wear a cloth face covering. That's what it is. Now, if you're going to be just passing through, it's open air. That says it's a lot less communicable. So I guess they are doing the right thing in this case, which is funny because just on Sunday, or was it Saturday, I did a whole video on how the Westgate was going to be starting to require these things at their tables. I said it's a gambit. Let's see what happens. It's a gamble. And somebody in my comments, and I don't remember your name, they said maybe Westgate has some insider information as to what's actually going to happen coming up. And I guess that person was right. So what does that mean for you? Well, it means that when you come here, you can request a mask from the casino. It means that you could always pick one up on my wife's website, vegasfacemask.com, no S at the end. It means that you could always buy a pack at the store for $25 and get like 10 masks or whatever they are, 17 masks. But yeah, even if you're a spectator, you're going to have to do it. So they saw rapidly declining usage. And I guess this is aided by Vegas bloggers and stuff going in and seeing what people are doing on the streets and giving them an idea. And I guess this is aided by their watchdogs that I'm sure show up to the casinos to see what's happening. And they said, you know what? We gave you kids a chance. And you kids did listen. Now you all go to your rooms. So that's what that is. But those are the news of the days for you. You tell me what you think in the comments below. You're going to say that this is the last straw. You're not coming to Las Vegas. A lot of you are going to say that. I can already see it in the comments below. You're going to say Vegas is no fun anymore. You're going to say all those things. But I keep seeing more and more people coming here. We do the interviews down when we're on our live streams, and people seem to love it here. It's just a way of life right now that we have to deal with until we come up with a vaccine or herd immunity, or until years from now. This is all something that is just, wow, do you remember that time when hand sanitizer was $20 a bottle and we shut down everything for 2 months? And do you remember that time? Do you remember that time? Let's hope it gets there without a second wave that's worse than the first, right? All right, so this is the time in the video where I say 3, 2, 1, click. And I remind you guys, head on over to Patreon if you want to support the channel. You can be in the credits of every single video. You guys can also get videos I don't post up, stuff I post early, photos and what have you. Head on over to vegasfacemask.com if you're planning to play poker or any kind of table games while you're in Las Vegas, because this applies to all table games. And also head on over to the Teespring store, or you guys can hit the links in the first comment of this video. Support the channel through Amazon or Vegas.com. All right, so that's what that is. I get close to the camera. Let's see. Oh, you're going to focus on me, camera. You're so good. Oh, you love me so much. We say 3, 2, 1, click. So ready? 3, 2, 1, and click.